in India. Today is 9th of August, 2025. And our topic of our topic of discussion today is physical, mental, and emotional health. So there are a lot of points to discuss. So and it is, pretty straightforward. So no need for giving introduction. What means physical? What means mental? What means emotional? So everybody knows that. So what we'll do is, these are the three aspects of our day-to-day life. It affects, our life experiences, and based on which our life progresses, basically. So only one particular dimension is not included here, which is spiritual. That is intentionally not kept for today's discussion. So we'll go into the more practical level and the physical, mental, and emotional level, what we all experience. And emotional is spiritual is a completely different thing. I will touch upon at the end of spiritual understanding of all these aspects, but we'll not discuss about the spiritual stuff today. So, in the physical level, it is called that health is wealth, or our physical body, which is an instrument, is gifted by the divine to operate in the external world. In that sense, mind also, mental, mind, body, intellect package that is gifted to us to operate in the external world. So naturally, all our life, mostly, as I mentioned, except the spiritual thing, based on the external situations, external interactions, external environment, external communication, and things like that. So that makes most of our life, So that's why it is important to know that which are the aspects which affects these three areas of our life. So I will broadly discuss in the two categories. First category is what are the parameters which affects these three categories. Let's say for physical. What are the factors which negatively impact our physical well-being or health? Yeah. And then I will discuss that what are the aspects or issues which contributes to the positive physical health or our well-being. Same with the mental and emotional. We'll go point by point, and then you can whatever we are going to discuss. So these points it also can be used as your self-exercise. So maybe the list will prepare later on some kind of exercise or something, but will not put the list right now. But what I'm saying is, if you go by the points and check where do you stand. Suppose you gave 1 to 10, or positive, like a positive health aspects, what you are going to discuss. Suppose there are 10 points. Each one you give 0 to 10 and see how much it is self-exercise. Like you can see how much you give point in each category, which affects negatively. And also same the positive thing, positive habits, a positive attitude and things like that. You can then give suppose there are 12 things have been mentioned there, and then you find it out and then you average it out. Then all the points average, so it will be between 0 to 10, some value will give and some value will give in the positive part of it. So based on which you can understand that what are that impacts having in your life. Suppose you have that many negatives but not many positives. Like positive you have averaged it out 4 and the negative averaged it out 7. in your exercise. You need not to show anybody. Yeah, of course, you need to be, honest while evaluating it, and unnecessarily don't, extrapolate it, because it will not give you the true picture. And from that, you can understand that why your life experience are mostly negative or mostly, positive in the physical level. Or if it is both are their average 5 or about 5 and 5, then it is like a mixed bag, it is almost equal part. Sometimes it is positive, sometimes negative, and that's fine. So there is no such right and wrong or pass and fail into this. It is just for your understanding purposes. So that in that respect also you can use this point for your self-analysis. So I will go the similar way. Physical level points, positive and negative, then mental level point, positive and negative, and then emotional level, positive and negative. The aspects, which actually, affects us or impacts us. Okay. So with that background, let me go into that. First point is about factors affecting our physical health. Okay. First, pointing our physical health. It is not in a particular order, but I have just put the things which affects our physical well-being negatively first, which reduces our health, which diminishes our health. What are those aspects? So, in my list, I have got first is junk food, then acidic food, which is more like a acid producing food. Non-vegetarian food means which comes from the dead, animals or things like that. So that is the non-vegetarian food. Oily, spicy, heavy to digest food, processed canned food, genetically modified food, and low protein diet. These are there are many. I will come one by one. First, let me say this is all whatever I mentioned so far. It is food related, like what kind of food reduces our health condition. So those kinds of food impacts negatively our health. Question is why? Because our health, our food, we have a separate discussion on food itself, but let me give you just idea gist is which contribute prana, like which enhances the prana in the body that is good for our health, and which consumes prana from our body, whether it is digesting or any kind of thing, or it takes a lot of our energy to assimilate it into our body. So those naturally that reduces our available energy. So one is contributing to the energy, like contributing to the prana. Prana means pranic force, energy, which runs our life. The energy which differentiates between a dead body and live body, that is prana. So whatever the food, type of food I mentioned, those are mostly, they reduce the prana available in our body. So means we have to consume prana to process them. That's why the overall impact is negative. Let us proceed further. So, and there are something called some conditions which is also we have reduces our vitality or the physical thing. It's all overeating. Someone is habitually do overeating because they feel hungry always. So overeating is one of the factor. Dehydration of the body. If we don't take much water, and then it creates a condition into our body which reduces the prana, reduces our vitality. Acidic water. If the water itself is acidic, okay, just for scientifically to understand what we mean by acidic water, and normally the water it should be neutral. It is neither acidic nor alkaline. So which is a pH value of 7. Yeah. Acidic water means it is lower than 7, like it goes 8 or 9, then it is 4, 5 or 4, then it is going toward acidic values. And if it is more than that, like go beyond 7, like become 8 and 9, then it is alkaline water. Alkaline water is good for health. We'll come to that when we'll discuss about the positive impact. Now we're discussing negative. And then also carbonated drinks and colas, what we normally, eat as a part of so-called junk food. I think somebody wants to join. Let me see. Then being overweight or, by excessive fat in the body, that is also, the condition that we need to avoid. Too much dependency on medicines. If we take too much medicines or dependent on medicine for each and every thing, discomfort, we pop up the pills and things like that. That habit itself reduces our vitality. Then on the like being overweight, on the other side is too much of fasting, too much of control of food and weight. That is also not a healthy scenario. We come to know several, I think, celebrities. They even has their death because of this kind of thing. They try to reduce their weight, and so many practices they follow. Ultimately, that told up on their overall health, and they have to leave the body. So that extreme is also not good. Also, like if we have like a body ache or body pain, we have that reduces our vitality. That may cause due to incorrect posture, the way ergonomics, the way we sit here and all. Nowadays, all office and other places that ergonomically designed, table and chairs and computer screens are there so that, you need to unnecessarily body doesn't come into your posture while sitting and, working in your office or something, which will adversely affect your health. So the correct posture is also needed. Nowadays, many offices, they have some kind of recommended, postures and how you sit and what level you set your computer and things like that. And so those are given, that's a good thing. So incorrect posture is one. Lack of exercise. If somebody is not at all doing any physical exercise, that has got its impact. Lack of it, or if it is some exercise they're doing, it is wrongly done. Like it is physical exercise, but it is wrongly done. That is also having negative impact on the body. Or over-exercising, too much exercising. That is also not good. So everything, this needs to be balanced. And then the last point, not last, I think there another thing also, you have to have some rhythmic breathing. Like if you have an irregular breathing or unnatural breathing pattern, that also having impact our health. When irregular and wrong breathing happens, this is mostly emotional, but it's called emotional breathing. But when we get angry, we get too fast breathing and things like that. So if it is done for quite a long, then it affects health. Then also there are other things like workaholism, like too much of work. So and then many are sleep deprivation, overuse of gadgets. Nowadays, everybody, all of us, we are mostly addicted to our gadgets and mobile phones and things like that. And then reading in bad light, if it is not enough light, our high eye sensitivity has something called peak eye sensitivity light. If it is too less than that, it stresses the eye, and that also. Then also then our behavior, if we have the sadistic behavior or, this kind of behavior also affect our health. like no matter to whom we are showing our behavior, but that does affect our own health. And then bad habits like smoking, drinking, drugs, or any other kind of like addiction or habits that definitely spoils our health. The goodness of people say that we are enjoying that, like when we smoke, drink, or take any drug or chemical you inject into our body in any form. They said we are enjoying, you are not enjoying actually. So what happens is it numbs the nerves. So the so-called the reality, a three-dimensional reality, look different, they feel different. Your sensory organs are altered. The reality has not altered. Yeah. So naturally, if it is altered or manipulated too many times, there may be some permanent damage which can affect our brain and the maybe lungs and then liver and so on and so forth. Yeah. Then also this is about our different kind of habit patterns, and also there are something which is the external or environmental, like a pollution. Pollution can be air pollution, water, noise, electrical, and there are different levels of pollution can affect ourselves. And also the place we live in, if it is a lack of cleanliness and hygiene, that also impacts our physical body. So these are the points, not all, but that mostly covers most of the points. So as I mentioned earlier, that if you list up those points and then you consider yourself, where do you stand, give you that rating. These are all negative, like most, whatever the rating you give and average it out, and then it should be, and then I will come to the positive ones. Then you compare, then you understand that what makes it, or overall impact, the resultant impact on your health. And if you sum up the area has been given the high number, means too likely, you have given high number, in the negative means it a negative high number. So in that means those are the areas you need to focus on, you have to work on. That is area of your growth. You need to work upon to, if you like to enhance your health. Okay, this is about what impacts negatively on our health. So now let us come to the issues which positively impact our physical health. So the points are like vitamins and minerals. If you take different types of vitamins and some good minerals like mineral waters, and you have some kind of balanced the mineral, if you take, then it helps to enhance your physical well-being or the health. Timely intake of food. If you have your food habit is not erratic, like one day you take some food at one time and another time. If you have suppose you have the lunch, a breakfast, lunch, the tea, and the dinner, you have a clearly defined some time slots and things like that. It helps to enhance your your health, because it is a part of the healthy lifestyle. Then also the organic foods are much better than synthetic food or heavily pesticide related developed food. So organic foods are much better toward the health. Like a vegetarian diet is better than having non-vegetarian diet for the health. Yeah. So because as I mentioned, that because it directly related to prana. I'm not criticizing that non-vegetarian thing, but or it may be part of our culture and food habit, and that's all well taken. But here it is, the vegetarian foods are high level of prana. Yeah? As non-vegetarian food, it has got some dead meat, particularly how long it has been, the particular animal or bird or fish has been killed, you don't know. frozen food, etc. So their level of prana has much reduced. So when we take that changes up the physical body level, the vibrational pattern, and that creates the negative impact. I'm talking non-veg. And the veg, it's not that, but again, in the vegetarian diet also, if it is a fresh produce, like from the garden, it's an orchard, or it is a vegetable garden, it is taken and freshly cooked, and all that is having much high level of prana. Even the vegetables or fruits also, if it is taken out for a long time and deep fridged and things like that, then also their pranic level goes down. So that way also you lose the, for taste maybe it is fine, but the pranic level, but what we are looking for, that not much thing left there as well. Then also some kind of other thing like some intermittent fasting helps, like a fasting once a week, certain time one, like you don't take any food after sunset and all these things. If you have that good, that is a good habit. And anything which detox your body, or if somebody having a constipation, laxatives and etc., that also helps to maintain your health. And the calorie restrictions, if you are watchful about the calorie you are taking. So all of us, we have some kind of recommended body mass index and the calorie level. So as per our own physical constitution, if you are limit to that, then that will be a good for health. When I was talking about acidic water, now the alkaline water helps. Like normal pH is 7. If you take some alkaline water, say pH 8 and all, so that will be good for our body, because what it happens is that whatever acid is produced by the food, etc., it neutralizes that. So it brings to the neutrality into within the body what we need, and it enhances the health. Yeah. So that's why the alkaline water is a good. There are some places alkaline water especially available comes in the bottle, or the natural ways also alkaline water can be made. There are few seeds are there, and it can be put like overnight and into the water, glass of water, you drink that water and it becomes alkaline, things like that. All right. Then the next is about the healthy drinks, like fresh juices or coconut water. So that also helps, all kind of fresh juices, but we have to make sure it is not, the additives are not there, like added sugar and other chemicals. Then its properties ruined. So then high protein, low carb diet, that is also recommended. Particularly this is recommended for those who have been, crossed their middle age. So then they need these kind of things. And raw salads and vegetables are very good. Again, it is about that prana. Then fruits, nuts and seeds in a certain quantity, like too much of nuts and seeds will again come to the harmful category. But if you come to a particular within the limit you take, that's fine. Fruits are also good. So fresh fruits, that's very good. Then of course, then your habit patterns like regular exercise, and if you are doing some sports, that is very good for your health. And then again, there is a social thing. If you in the habit of smiling, or you follow up your hobbies like singing, dancing, and that will be fine. And if you are, and also if you have a walk in the nature, in the woods, or even grounding yourself, like walking barefoot onto the grass. Many we recommended to connect with the Mother Earth, and if you have that kind of habit of doing that, then it will immensely, help the healthy body. And other habits are like we have give time to your physical body to relax, and you have to have some timely sleep pattern you have to maintain, like at the food cycle, you have to maintain good sleep cycle. So if you give yourself 8 hours of sleep, that will be very good. Means 1/3 of the day we should be sleeping. So that is also very good, the habits. So if we maintain hygiene, like we have to keep ourselves clean, and the nails are cut, and brush our teeth, just simple, normal things. So that will be, keeping hygiene is a good thing. In the daily, you have to make it as a part of our habit pattern. And then also the physical exercises of in the nature, like a walk in the woods. You can have some kind of like a trekking, or you go on the hiking, and this kind of things in the open air, any physical activity. So that also, and or open air sports, like your athletics, or playing football or tennis or something in the open air, that helps. Yeah, so that helps your physical body. And then also, not only the physical exercise, and you can have like a practice some kind of yoga, different types of yoga, asana, and all those kind of things. So that also, it will help you for the health. And you further, if you go from yoga to go further into kriya and etc., that it is meant for our higher dimensional journey, but it also makes our physical body fit. In our group also, we teach holistic exercises. So there are holistic exercises for each part of the body. So if you practice it early morning, so that helps to maintain a fit physical body. So that is there. And if you follow the breathing pattern, so like you have a rhythmic breathing, not too fast, slow, but rhythmic breathing. So that helps. Even we recommend 3:2 stomach breathing. If it can be, put it as a part of your daily habit routine pattern. So it will immensely help your physical the health. So and that's why these are called healing breath. Your physical body healing will be there. In addition to the spiritual part of it, increasing the vibration, or the PVF cellular vibrancy, definitely that will increase. But it will also help your physical body. Okay, so now let us come to our we've just given a list of our things of the physical health and maintaining healthy lifestyle. What are the aspects we have to look into? The next point is strategic approach towards positive mental health. Now let us come to the territory of the mind. That is another, next to the body, mind, intellect package we have. So that's what we need to operate in the external world. So let us come to see what are the aspects which is the mental condition or mental state, or what are the things which gives the negative things, which creates negativity in the mental domain. Yeah. So I will list again. Few things have been listed here, so that I will read them now, which affects us mentally and negatively. So it is about worry and anxiety. Is mostly those are the killer habits that produces our mental ability, and it increases the negativity in the mind. Self-doubt, we doubt ourselves, and also and other habits like negative self-talk, like a low self-esteem and things like that, and I'm good for nothing. You thinking, telling yourself these kind of things, it reduces that your mental ability to perform in the healthy level. So all those reduces your mental well-being. Cursing others, if you too much into curse others unnecessarily, every small things you become like abusive to others and curse others. Judgment, that you should judge, heavily judge the other people, what they're saying, what they're doing. So you're very sensitive about others, and if you have that judgmental attitude, it affects your mental state. Overthinking, too much of thinking, that also affects mentally. And no action, or like a laziness, too much laziness is also affect us mentally. Other than physical acts, it has got the mental dimension as well. Okay, so let us continue. So other points I have here, the isolation, the feeling of isolation, like sometimes we feel isolated, but if it becomes your habit pattern, always you feel isolated or lonely. You feel abandoned by others, like nobody likes me, and this kind of approach, if this is what you run in your mind, then affect your mind negatively. It is not about what is the right and wrong, or what is happening or not happening. It is about your state of mind. If you feel that way, or feeling, I will come about the emotional stuff. But you think you are abandoned, nobody likes you, and all this thought itself is create the negative mental state. Then if it is prolonged for too long about the negative thing, that's called depression. We go into depression of too many negative thoughts coming too frequently. In the extreme case, it will go to the suicidal tendencies. There is no point in living, and it's all big bad world and things like that. It's all in our mind. The truth is, the world is not punishing us, not rewarding us. The world is the way it is. That is what finally, that is what the spiritual understanding. But if you take that, whatever we see in our world, there can be many things which will not go the way we expected or the way we like. And if we take too seriously of those things, so that will create our, negativity and depression. Then the next point is about the lack of focus. We cannot focus properly, and that is a mental state. And then confusion, memory loss. If you go under memory loss, and dementia or attention deficit, these are some of the effect of our negatively impacted mind. There can be other types of the mental, like a mental state which is negative, or attitude. You can say there's a negative, that is the hoarding. Some people have a habit of collecting everything, not to give up anything. So those are like the hoarding, like a tendency. This is that's having a negative impact. That same as over ambition. If somebody is too much ambition beyond the practical level, and naturally those ambitions, they met, or it's not possible to meet, and they fall into the depressions, which are the tendencies. Then also our mentally impacted the sexual fantasies and other things. If you too much gone into that, and go into the habit of the pornographies and things like that, that heavily impacted our healthy lifestyle or our health. Daydreaming and like addiction of all types, even like if it is too much addicted to the social media and all those things that may impact us negatively, our mind. And then give too much importance on the negative news channels or newspapers or social media. So if we feed ourselves too much of negative news, negative things from the media, whether it is a standard media or social media, it doesn't matter. If we feed that negative, then our mind itself becomes overburdened with the negativity. So it is also said that our, the psychologists say there are two wolves in our mind. One is a positive, one is negative. What your life will be, it depends upon which wolf you are feeding. Okay. If you're feeding the negative wolf too many things, then negative will be stronger. But if the positive one, then your way of looking will come to that how to change that and what are the positive impacts of that. Okay, then excessive use of video games and gadgets, gadgets and all these things like these mobile phones and other things, these are for helping our lifestyle. It helps us. It is for the communication. If you use it for that purpose, it's fine. But of course, if you excessive use them and overuse them and glued to that all the time, then it impacts your mental state. It can create many things like attention disorder or sleeping disorder and many other things. That is a product of that. And nowadays, I think one set of branch of psychology has developed just to help people who are addicted to these kind of things. Okay, then also if you have a manipulative behavior, then it harms no matter how much you can manipulate others, but first victim is you. So that impacts your mental state first. But not everything in the world can be manipulated. So maybe we can have few success here and there, but ultimately it has to, be challenged or countered, or that we have to see the backlash and that time. And that time we have to face the music, and then our mind mentally we get affected by it. Then other things is there's something called energy vampires. Energy vampires mean there are some persons, if you communicate with them and in their presence, they suck your energy and it affects you mentally and all this. You feel uncomfortable and things like that. You don't know why. Or you feel drained out. So they call energy vampires. It is just the opposite of the spiritual masters. If you come in the energy field of any spiritual master, you feel the love and joy. Yeah? You don't know why you are feeling that way. So you feel comforted, you feel that, but energy vampires, you feel threatened and you feel unstable. Yeah? So those are called energy vampires. So basically they changes the mental thinking pattern. We get affected energetically and that changes the pattern. That's why. Then our habit of gossiping and or company of negative people, if you like, backbiting of other people's and criticizing other people's at their back, or we are indulging too much of gossiping, that help. Then the state of mind goes negative right away. And then we can also have some conditions like prejudices, preconceived notions, like maybe some thought pattern, maybe a childhood conditioning or some social conditioning. They are negative to start with. Like some of the type of people, we think they are our enemy, and whatever we do or say, that back of our mind that plays that these people are enemy or this and that. So first thing is, doesn't matter that actually they are enemy or not, but first you get your own the mental state reduces. Then negative belief system, something may be so ingrained into you that it becomes your negative belief system. That maybe from the beginning you have to be told from the childhood you have to be, top in the class in the school. You have to come with your first 10th, otherwise you are useless as a student, and you become so much belief system. So wherever you compete and you didn't get the success, you have very low self-esteem and something seriously wrong with you. And that belief system that you have to be on the first 10, that impacts your life, and then you may lose your confidence, and it will definitely impact your this thing. So those are belief system, because there is nothing called, not everybody can be on the top, and not whoever has been on the top, their life is all fine and nice and all, and whoever is a mediocre student or something, or the lower category in the school, their life is ruined. Not that. Like if you see that the most of the billionaires and all those kind of things, several of them are, the college dropouts and things like that. They didn't complete their formal education, but they become multi-billionaires. Anyway, so, but negative belief system do affect us, because from the beginning we started with something which is fundamentally not the truth, and then when we confront with the reality, then we have to go into that this kind of the level. Yeah. Okay, so that is about the negative part of whatever in the mental dimension we have. Now let us see that the next point is strategic approach towards positive mental health. Now let us go through the points which gives us the positive boost to our mental ability, or the mental ability or mental well-being. What are those? There are many things, like many aspects. We'll discuss point by point. There are so many points, that's why I'm not going into the detail. Otherwise, it will maybe one of the areas will take one whole session. So that is not the purpose for today's session. I just want to point it out as I discuss that. It is just help you to understand those areas within you for the self-exercise only. Okay, so for the mental dimension, if we have to go into the positive territory, what can help us to go more positive, mind positive domain, that area? Things are here, the affirmations. If you say positive thing in the present tense, there are a lot of affirmations. We have some self-love affirmation, etc. As a practice we recommend, that kind of thing. So if you tell yourself positive things, those are called affirmations. In the present tense, positive things. So suppose you have money issues, but if you say affirmation that money comes to me smoothly and effortlessly and from various sources, so I'm having the financial abundance and all. These are the affirmations like you tell yourselves. So more and more you tell yourselves, then what it happens is goes to your subconscious mind, and then your approach towards life changes, because it is already programmed in the positive way because of those affirmations you say aloud. Then next is positive and empowering thoughts. So if you watch your thoughts and try to avoid going into negative thoughts, the moment you realize, replace it with the positive or empowering thoughts, then it helps to give your mind operates through thoughts. So thoughts are the instrument of your mental dimension. Like our body is instrument of our physical dimension, mental dimension is the thoughts. So quality of the thoughts determine your mental condition. So that means if you have a positive and empowering thoughts, that changes your mental state. Then positive memories. So normally you think of only negative memories and we grudge about what happened in the past, but it's not possible you have only negative. If you have some positive memories, bring that out. Whenever you say the mind is idle, bring the positive memories. Maybe whatever the prize you won, but where you appreciated, or for those who have or getting a past one exam or getting a new job or whatever you had, go through that, or visited some place or meet with important people, or this kind of things. Positive memories for those who are already have the children, they can maybe the childbirth, that brings a lot of joy. Those kinds of memories you have to bring, into this, so that you can relive those memories and it changes. Instantly it changes your state of mind. It goes, whatever you are thinking, maybe dump type of thing, it goes into the positivity. So that is the idea. Then there is a creative visualization. If you use your mind and in the creative way, then also it shifts your energy, towards the mental into the positive territory. All of us, we have the creative abilities. It is basically, it's called the right brain activities. Just let me, I'm just instructed to give you a little bit of spiritual thing here as well. See, we are all creative being. Creation is a part of our primordial ability. The source from where everything came. The source, it has got only one job, that is to create. That's why it creates almost infinite things, the universe, the planets, and the galaxies. So many animals and plants and the human being and all those kind of things. It created. Its job is keep creating. So when all of us, we have the creative abilities. I'm not talking about what job we do. I'm talking ability. All of us, we have the creative ability. When we use our creative ability, we touch to that source from where we all came. That opens up a path. So when it opens up a path, it purifies all the level up to the top. So mind comes in between. So the creative visualization, if you visualize something, maybe you visualize some painting or, nice place, or creatively visualize something good or some good thing. Or maybe how you will give a gift to someone, that person will be very happy you are visualizing that. How it will help other people. Maybe somebody in need and you have given some gift, and how their smile, that change, you are visualizing it. This thing, forget about actual when it happened and how the person will behave, etc. But it creates your state of mind through that's a creative visualization. So those are the kind of things you can visualize yourself. If you read motivational stories, that also changes your state of mind. And also you can listen to motivational talks and listen to attend some motivational talks and videos. And maybe, satsang, like if the person to whom you are listening, that is coming from the positive background, that heavily impact your mind. So your positivity boosts up, and that's what you become a life positive approach comes. And then if you have a learning attitude, so experientially, if you have that approach to learn more things, then it will add much positivity in your life. So in our office here, one gentleman was sharing, like in our office is oil and gas industry, and one gentleman who is the local Marathi. But he was telling that his habit is to read one like a motivational topic or new subject every week. Either it's a book or studies it and all those things. So he is telling, by this way, nobody is forcing. It's nothing to do with the official thing. So he find out some new topics. That is his hobby. So every week he reads one book or attend something, lecture or video or something, find it about it. So he said, when we finish the year, by the time I know 50 more subjects, like 52, weeks, maybe one or two missed because of any reason. So he's richer by 50 subjects more. So if you have a learning attitude, it's not for anything else, like whether you really need it for learning something or it has to be only because of what's currently trending, say AI, or no need. Any subject. If you take interest, learn about it, then your frame of mind changes. Okay? So, and in fact, this is one of the reason that here in our, we have the weekly learning session like this. One topic we select, and many of the time you suggest what is the topic you want to listen, and if you just listen to that, just learn something new. There may be something coming which is not known to earlier. Nobody knew everything from birth. So if you learn something new, that's excellent. It keeps your mind in the positive frame. Doesn't matter from where it is coming, but it changes your state of mind. That's what it is. Finding a mentor, if you're lucky and find a mentor to whom you can one-to-one consult and get a guidance, and then from that channel that you get the knowledge, it changes your mental pattern. And from mentor to further you go, further it becomes a spiritual guide. The difference between a normal mentor and the spiritual guide is spiritual guide does not need the traditional knowledge or reading so many things. So that spiritual master will just simply connect with the universal knowledge, and knowledge will flow through him, and that's how you receive it. Okay. So that is the highest level of possible in learning. So when you can learn, highest level is when you get directly, first hand, that is highest level. Till you reach there, next best is if you can, come in touch with any spiritual master who can connect. Through connect, that flow comes Guru Tattva. And then you get it. So there is no limit of those subjects. Anything on earth you can ask. Even beyond that, you can ask. You get it, those kind of topics. And you get. So basically I'm saying forget about from where it is coming. But when you receive it, it opens up different areas of your mind. It lit up. Then it changes your mental, the domain, like all areas of darkness and unknown areas are lit up. So that helps you. Okay. What are the other things helps your mental dimension? De-addiction. If you have anything, de-addiction, detox. If you do have some addiction, so no need to, keep on blaming and all those things. As long you knock the door will open. Yeah. Our world is full of problems and addictions and toxins and all, but surprisingly, every addiction there is a de-addiction process method available as well. Those who knock the door, if they are interested to work on themselves, things will come up. It's possible. So in our lifetimes, maybe those are the challenges we have to overcome. So, and when we knock it, we go to that level, then we start working on that. If we get into the de-addiction level, certain level, it changes our mind completely in the positive territory. From helplessness, we go to the control on our life. Yeah? So then we start enjoying the life rather than being slave of something, some substance or somebody else. We get out of it. Then cultivation of good hobbies. So if you develop the hobbies, means what you like to do. There are certain things we need to do because we have to earning there. It's a professional job. But other than that, there are something you like to do. These are if you go ahead with that, those hobbies, it changes your mind pattern. And which is the best hobby? Best hobby is what you are passionate about. So what is meant by passion? Means what you love to do. Love in action is called passion. So how do I know that I love certain things? Criteria is very simple. If doing something, you lose sense of time, that is your passion. Suppose gardening. By doing gardening, if you lose sense of time, you spend 2 hours, but it didn't realize it is 2 hours. You are behind in the garden and taking care of the plants and flowers and things like that, watering them and giving whatever fertilizer and things like that. So that is your passion. And if you develop your passion as your hobby, then your state of mind dramatically changes. And so just being involved into that activity, it changes your mind, the positivity. Then other things like brain games, brain teasers, if you like to sort puzzles and things like that, that changes your mind, the positivity. Like there are like intellectual exercises or solving something, brain teasers. Those are good for your getting into the positive mind state. So, and then you have to, if you come to know about any kind of negative belief system, if you do some activity called re-scripting, those are the kind of things will tackle the negative part and the negative become positive. So it is also said that if you have the negative belief system and you are ready to work on it, you can change and your mindset changes altogether. But there is a problem area here. If your belief system is positive, then normally you don't like to change. Then you stuck there, and in the mental level, that is a different aspect. Go into the spirituality. But anyway, for mental level, changing negative to positive is if you do some method, some way, whatever works for you. So of course, it will changes your mental dimensions. Then also some of the other activities like appreciation. If you appreciate others, it gives you the joy. Or if you do some kind of service, seva, selfless service. If you share something what you have, that gives a joy of giving, that changes your mental state altogether. Because you are not expecting anything in return. That is a thing. Otherwise, if I appreciate somebody and expect that person will also appreciate me and that person doesn't, or maybe that a person they do appreciate, but I don't like, I thought I deserve more, then the problem starts. You go back to the negative territory. But if it is unconditional, you are not, it's just because you like to appreciate, you are appreciating. You like to give service, that's why you're giving service. Like to share something, you are sharing. Not expecting anything in return, not even a thank you. Then your level, the mental state goes very high. Because in other words, that your reward you get, which is a different dimension altogether. It's a divine. It's not about who said and who did what. So then you uplift your state. Another mind state changing things are like a music. Music can change our mood, our mind heavily. So the music and certain level of sound, certain the frequencies, the vibration and the tunes and all, they have impact on our mind. In fact, whole sound healing is depend on this issue, changing of vibrationally. It changes our mind. Also, if we have certain the practices like a mantra chanting, prayers and stotram, kirtan, arati, or the religious practices, that gives you the positive boost in your mind. While doing the activities, changes your mental state, or it keeps you occupied into the positive things and doesn't allow negative things to enter. That's why you came into the positive territory. So those are the activities. And the mental thing, or there are many yogic practices and things that like if you can do the tratak, like looking at one particular flame. So and or maybe there are other like a sun yoga and all that. It changes our state of mind because we are concentrating on something. The energy comes from there. It changes our mental pattern. Then breath work and of course observing silence and solitude. Like not ekaki, ekant, like not loneliness. Aloneness helps us to restore our positive state of mind. Also, it is watchful attention, like aloof attention when you watch our thought. This is spiritual practice, but idea is to reduce the thought mind. So if you reduce the number of thoughts, it enhances the power of our mind. And last but not the least, of course, the meditation itself. If we just sit down and meditate, it completely changes our state of mind. And because we will go to the state of no mind, which is beyond positive and negative, the no duality. We cross the duality, and that completely changes our state of mind. And when we go into that state, the Turiyavastha, then it has got trickling effect on our mind and the body, our state, the way we think, the way we, experience life, those changes, because it comes from the very calm and quiet and attentive, high energy state. And that state changes our life altogether. Okay, so next point is about behavior and habit patterns that impact emotional state. Okay, so we already discussed about the physical level, positive, negative, mental level, positive, negative. Now let us discuss about the emotional patterns or behaviors or things. So emotion, that literally it means energy in motion. There's some energy shifts are happening. That's why that our emotion changes. Like the physical level, the instrument is physical body. Like physical level is the body. Mental level, it is thoughts. Emotional level, it is the feelings, how we feel. So whole emotional dimension is all about feeling. Means everything is internal. There is nothing outside. All within us, how we feel about something. And this is a little subtle level, but it has got a huge impact. Impact on us is huge because we are all like an emotional being. So as we are emotional being, like a physical body, and in that physical body, even the tree has, and the mental body, the animals also have that physical body and mind, but we have but we are more towards emotion, but we have many types of emotion rather than just positive or negative. Animals, they have a less number of emotions. They are hungry, angry, or think few of them. But we have a lot of emotions, and this is the emotional area where things get complicated for human being. A lot of time we suffer. Bodily we are fine, and maybe there is nothing. The mind is not. Mind is okay, but emotion, they overpowers the mind, and that's why we have many negative things in our lives. So let us see the listing of what are those emotions which impacts us, our being negatively, our feelings negatively. Yeah. The feelings which impacts us negatively are harmful. The feelings which are harmful for us are shame, feeling of guilt. We have done something wrong and we are repeating it in our mind, or we feel bad about it later on. Situation is not there anymore, but the guilt remains. Hatred, if you hate somebody else too much, or jealous about somebody, or fearful about something. These are all what I'm mentioning, these are the negative emotions. Then the last, there we lust for something, and too much of this, lust for money, lust for sex, lust for maybe position or power, and all those kind of things. So those are the negative emotions. So then anger, greed, then too much of pride, like too much of egoistic expression, that is pride. And also hurt and humiliation, insult and ridicules. And also we cannot accept like apathy or indifference from others. We feel bad if we feel that nobody is giving any value to us. So our existence doesn't matter to somebody. So we feel that indifference that kills us. We feel very negatively about it. Also, there are other things like feeling of insecurity. Like we may have some kind of childhood trauma. Where insecurity is, just to give a little bit more on that, not everything will be, we don't see everything beforehand. That is the nature of life we are living. We are experiencing life. So life is not like a straight line and everything is known and everything will follow our whatever we wish for and then we'll complete our life. It's not that. Life by design is made us to explore and experience. So there are most of the things, particularly in the future, will be uncertain. We don't know what will happen. In other words, we have to make it happen. We have to make it good. That is a role we have to play. Not everything will come in front of us on the platter. But same thing as it is, that is what the life is. But if we take that uncertainty as the insecurity, then we are emotionally, it drops us, in the negative territory. Whereas if we take it as an adventure or challenge, then we use uncertainty in our advantage. Okay, advantage part will come later. Insecurity, then childhood trauma. Maybe something happened in our childhood and it is not good thing, very bad thing happened. Maybe some abuse happened. We recollect and the trauma is eating us from inside. We don't feel good and affects us emotionally. So it affects our emotional health. That situation may no longer there. Maybe it has gone decades back, but we still feel that we get affected by it. We remember it, and then that is the trauma. Then if we experience other things in our life, like a relationship, heartbreak, then impacts our emotional things. And or if we like undergo too much of grief, we lose some loved ones, they are no longer with us, then we feel grief. Then lack of love and forgiveness from our side, that maybe sometimes we feel that we got so much hurt and all these things, our original power or original capability to love something or someone is gone. That is a lack of love. We feel dry inside. Or we cannot forgive something or someone. So whatever be the reason, but that power has gone. So it is all create negative emotions. The feeling of incompleteness, like feeling us short or low or less than from someone else on ourselves, then look down upon on ourselves. That is also the emotional stress it creates. The longing and despair and self-pity, poor me syndrome, we call it. If you fall into that, that is emotional negative territory. Low self-esteem. So we are not comfortable and talking to anyone, facing anyone. We feel ashamed. If it in the highest level, it is even we feel ashamed of our existence. So that is strictly negative territory. Deep into negative territory. Then other things like feeling empty inside and unhappy. So those are the things, are emotional liabilities. Then we have mood swings. If we quick mood swings and all those things, if we don't have control over our mood, that is emotional liability. Then emotional discharge, like we cannot hold our emotions. We try to outburst on somebody in front of us. That is also not a good sign emotionally. We don't have the maturity to handle our own emotions. Then some people have called emotional eating, like they keep on eating, just the feeling there is some emotional thing not stable inside, and to cover that they keep eating. That is the eating disorder, but they keep eating. Then emotional upheavals, like a mood swing, there can be we become too sensitive to somebody says, someone said something or did something, we react, very badly. So that means that these kind of upheavals are there. We are in the verge of emotional, like emotional, like a disaster. If we get too touchy and everything, we cannot accept any kind of small things here and there. Then if we are just trying to have attention and approval seeking by doing something, saying something, main thing is to draw attention. So whenever a small child does it, it is understandable. They are seeking attention from the parents or feeling hungry and they're crying and seeking attention. That is understandable. That is a part of the nature. But if somebody grown into adulthood, but still that has not gone, in trying to seek attention or something, approval of somebody else, then that is an emotional issue that need to be addressed. Okay, aggressive or submissive behavior and fear of taken for granted, like in the relationship, some people, they feel they're treated like a doormat, and that is also emotional area that need to be worked upon. Then possessiveness, and the other side is domination and control, and abusive behavior, selfishness, and non-acceptance. I don't accept this. So these are the things which affects us emotionally, and it impacts negatively our feeling, and if it goes for too long, then it becomes maybe psychological or psychiatric issues which need to be addressed. So then let us discuss the positive part of it, like emotional well-being and upliftment. What are the points that uplift us emotionally? those are the points like top in the point is love. If we can feel love, express the love and all, that changes everything, all the emotions. Then other things are joy, feeling the joy and appreciation, the happiness, then acceptance, forgiveness. These are the qualities. If you practice it, you become emotionally going to the higher level of state. Nurturing, if you can take care of somebody, nurture somebody and helping others, this gives you a lot of emotional strength and positivity. You feel quite fulfilling or maybe purposeful in your life. And when you feel that there is a purpose in your life, and that is based on love, whole thing changes. Everything changes. Your emotional, like a transformation happens completely. Somebody wants to join. Okay. So then what are these things? Like a selfless service, again, like that gives you the emotional satisfaction. Sharing, then positive strokes, if you've done some good thing for others. And like pursuing your passion, this also gives your emotional health other than your mental health. And feeling of completeness. If doing something, if you feel you complete. Suppose you feeding to poor or educating somebody who some children doesn't get chance, they do not get chance to get proper education. So those kinds of gives you feeling of completeness. That is a living with a purpose. If you do even a small scale, I'm not saying that will become your profession, but if you do that gives you a lot of emotional boost in your being. Then also being with nature and to help you boost emotionally. Being with pets and children and friends also, good friends. That give you emotional support. The pets and the children particularly, they come here, they come in our life to teach us the unconditional love or the joy. So when we feel that love and joy were first points I mentioned, we feel love and the joy, and there is no threat here. Like for adult, if it is go to the love and all, it takes another dimension and feel like cheated and things like that. They are manipulated and all those kind of risks come here. But if it is like a pet or children, that risk is not there. So it becomes a pure. That changes your being, like a emotional state. So that is there. Like also your emotional thing, like if you have like set your own goal, if you have setting your own goal and achieving them on your own, it can be any area. So if you can achieve them, that gives a very good, emotional boost. Then you have a positive attitude towards life and towards others in general. Then it helps you to strengthen yourself emotionally. Then assertiveness. Assertiveness is basically like something is, suppose, I'm just explaining what is assertiveness means in briefly. If what I want, if I push it to others, that is aggressiveness. Or somebody wants something and I give in to that. It's not mine, but somebody else wants it, they push it, so I give in to that. That's called submissiveness. So aggressiveness is one end and submissiveness is another end. But in between, there is an overlap. Overlap means it is called win-win situation. Like both of the parties, me and the other party, get something in the common bandwidth where both of them become reasonably got something, that is called assertiveness. So if we operate from assertiveness, both the aggressiveness and submissiveness are emotionally not good for us. But if you're assertive, you find the middle path, Majjhim Pantha in Buddhism, okay? That is assertiveness. And that is very much emotional booster. So if you, any situation, if you assertive solution, if you can come with, then that gives us an emotional boost. Next is your confidence. If you do it confidently, whatever you do, how much you do doesn't matter. Whatever you do, if you do with a confidence that yes, you can do it, it uplifts you emotionally. Then healthy self-esteem, like without pushing yourself to somebody else, but at the same time, you have a self-respect and you don't allow somebody to break that. Like other case I discussed, submissiveness. That is your self-esteem, you need to keep it. So when we have a healthy self-esteem, it boosts us emotionally. Then also that if we fulfill anything we desire, that is fulfilled, then it's a healthy desire, and when it's fulfilled, then it's called the dopamine. That has been injected in our brain, and we feel good, and that is also our emotional booster. Then again, there is something called other exercises we do for the emotional thing, because emotional is energy in motion. So rather than going into diverse energy, if we have any method to control the energy, calm down our energy, then it helps us emotionally. So, and here comes again the Kriya, spiritual practices we do, the meditation we do, and different techniques we can use to have this emotional thing under control. Not under control, in fact, is going beyond that. So that is our, those kind of practices, the spiritual practices can help us to go into maintain our healthy domain. So, or maintain the feeling good about life in general, life positive approach. That those kind of spiritual things, the practices make us to do that. Even there are, like some sound healing and all. Even the music, some of the music can change our mood, or it is the feelings. So those are also there. The sound healings and particular types of frequencies, they change our mood and feelings. Those are also the contributory factor to get ourselves into the positive territory and having our emotional, which is balanced emotions. And if there is anything comes which is not so good, your emotional maturity, it's called EQ, emotional quotient. We have a high level of emotional quotient is possible through this spiritual practices, and then we don't address the life as a victim. Yeah, we know that many things comes. We know that this is the uncertainties of the life. Not everything will go as per our thing. That maturity comes, and that the emotional maturity EQ reflected our everything we do, whatever relationship we had. It also helps us to our professionally to whom we meet and how we interact with others and things. And by all those, our life changes. So that is the emotional part of it. Okay, so that is about the positive part of the emotional points. So now, I think now that is a last point of the spiritual understanding of total life transformation beyond physical, mental, and emotional dimensions. Okay, so now we come to the state, as I mentioned earlier, which is now I discussed about the exact practical points about the positive and negative of all these three dimensions. So spiritual dimension is beyond this. It's not into this level. It will go into the higher level of understanding that comes in the spiritual domain. But one thing, let me tell you, spiritual understanding of these positive negatives, you can identify with your cellular vibrancy or PEVF. Like whatever contributes to enhance your vibration, those become positive aspects. So in the physical level also, the positive means that reduces your vibration, cellular vibration of the body. And whichever those we discussed about the positive, they enhances the vibration. More prana means higher vibration. Same with the thoughts. With the thoughts, if some kind of thoughts on the mental activities or patterns reduces our vibration, then it impacts is negative overall. Whereas it gives the boost to our vibration, then the positive territory, then those becomes the good mental thing. Whatever we listed. Now you look into all the point in the light of vibration, then everything will be clear. Then emotion also same thing. Those emotions which the guilt, shame and all, it's like a very negative. We know the frequency that kind of cone, like Dr. David Hawkins, that his research 250 neutral, then the below 250 is negative, above 250 is positive. So this is below 250 is all negative. So if you fall below that vibration, which changes your own vibration below 250, those are negative things. If changes something which is higher than 250 up to 499, those are the positive things, like physical, mental, emotional. They changes the vibration in the positive territory. Now the spiritual understanding is that you have to go beyond positive or negative. That is where the 500 plus, like the love and above frequencies. So if you go there, you fall into spiritual territory, what we didn't discuss today. Okay, but I'm just giving you understanding. So what does that mean? That these things, whether physical activity, mental activity, emotional thing, will be negative, means they reduce the vibration below 250. And something which, what are the aspects which goes more than 250? 300, 400 and 450 and all. Those are the positive ones. So that's what it means. That was the spiritual understanding of the whole aspect today. And life transformation happens when we drop both positive and negative. We go beyond duality. That is 500 and above. So there we can, our sixth sense comes into the play. All those are our five senses, and through that we experience the life. But when the sixth sense opens up, the intuition, the higher dimensional stuff, that makes the total transformation possible. So it is nothing to do with positive. Of course, those are needed to as a foundation to go there, but healthy body, healthy mind, and all those things. Clean body, mind, and feeling. So then up to the spiritual level, when it goes, everything become clean, and that is called Antakaran Suddhi. All the higher bodies are clean. So that is in the spiritual domain. But to have that high level Antakaran Suddhi, you need to start with the physical body and the mind, and then emotions. You have to fully under control. And into that positive territory or silent, then only you will be able to achieve higher attainment in the spiritual domain, and the life fully transformed to that level. Otherwise, you are just being played between positive and negative, controlling and all those kind of things. That's okay. That part is fine. But as long as there is a positive, some negative will always come. So you cannot hold the positive all the time. I normally give example of a magnet. Like you cannot take only the North Pole and leave the South Pole. It's not possible. So as long as it is in the territory of the negative, positive can be changed to positive, but not all the time. So total transformation, like it's not living something positive and thing like that. When total transformation will happen only if you uplift, which is the spiritual territory, then only that complete transformation will happen. And if you cross 700, there is enlightenment. That is 700 plus, called sustained enlightenment. All the time you are plus 700, that is the time you are fully established into the spiritual and the holistic living, completely under the governed by the soul consciousness. So that is the state is there. Then all your physical level, mental level, emotional doesn't matter. You have learned the mastery of all these areas, and you retain there. Yeah, so you belong into that state, and that is the mastery. And that time we say the total transformation has happened, or enlightenment has happened. With this, I will conclude the discussion for today. If you have any question, you can ask me. Let me save the attendance. Okay, Roy, I'm coming to you. Just let me save our attendance today. Yes, Roy, go ahead with your question.
Rajdeep, regarding this, frequency, raising the vibration, and these figures, which you give, which is mentioned, 250, 300, 400. So, air units ta ki, mane frequency will be measured in hertz. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Cellular vibrancy in hertz, and it came from the research done by Dr. David Hawkins. And the book he published, Power versus Force. Okay, where it is written how it is done. Basically, he was doing research on consciousness mapping. So from there, it has been arrived.
Okay. And one of the methods which I have, I've come to know from you is that we do the stomach breathing. And it helps in increasing the vibration of the frequency level.
Correct.
So, like suppose I start on day 1 with stomach breathing. That day, can I measure the vibration level of mine in units, and then say, suppose I do it for 1 month every day, 108 stomach breathing, and then after 30 days, I want to measure it. Is there a way of seeing how much it has increased?
Quantification, no. We not have any instrument we can measure and tell you right now. Okay. The way it is done is like a journaling. Like you have to give, like, say, half an hour or 1 hour time to journal the quality of your thoughts passing through your mind. Like normally, say, every 2 minutes, what is the current thought in your mind you are writing? 2 words. This is self-exercise, journaling. Like I have given a lot of points here, like a positive, negative. So you have to count how many of them. If it's mostly the negative, then you are in the negative territory. Okay.
Got it.
And if it is a mostly positive, you try to help others, how I can, do that, and what are the kind of, maybe I will work with some NGO and do this effort from the people and things like that, then it is mostly positive.
Right.
Yeah. So that way you can find out roughly which bandwidth you fall into. But actual measurement, there is no such equipment. Maybe in the future it will come. But actual measurement also, another reason it is not practical, because it changes with your own mood. Means it is not fixed for you. Now something half an hour, it may change. Because the type of thoughts you have and type of emotions you have, it changes. So that is also not fixed.
Okay, right, got it. No, what you have said, one can see that how your vibration is, increasing by the level of thoughts, by the type of thoughts you are getting.
Yes. So if you can journal them, only two words, each 2 minutes. Suppose in 1 hour you have 30 such blip, maybe you said some alarm or something. Every time that beep happens, you note down 2 words. This my thought. It can be positive, negative, or maybe neutral. Okay. If it is more towards negative, then it is less than 250. And if it is mostly mixed 50-50, then you are balanced. If it is mostly positive, it will be there. But if it is mostly spiritual in nature, you are contributing something for the humanity or healing or this kind of stuff. How to improve the energy level or what is the kind of meditation we are required for this kind of stuff. Then you go 500 plus. Yeah, because you are basically your whole thinking is as per what divine in nature. That way.
Right. Thanks. I mean, that's a very good answer. Just want to conclude by saying that now these days, whenever a thought comes, most of the time, and I will say 60% of the time, I immediately tell myself that this is not my thought, and I go into the witness mode.
Yes, that is the right approach, because witnessing is that not to take ownership of the thought.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you.
Okay. All right. God bless you. Yeah, Shubhranto.
Rajiv, can you give some elaboration on this energy vampire? Some symptoms to identify, or is it just different or same as the normal negative? Let's say some people is crying or talking some negative things. These are all negative energies. But can you elaborate a little more on energy vampire?
Sure. But no, if somebody is crying or behaving negatively, they are not energy vampires. Okay. Energy vampires are those, they suck your energy. They may be knowingly or unknowingly doing it. Okay. They are constitutionally different, like a magnet kind of thing. Like you interact with that person, and after that interaction, you feel drained. There is no reason. There is no negative thing happened, not crying, not shouting, and not abusing, nothing of that sort. Yeah? Because some people, they are in a, maybe the cellular way, it is so much into their negatively, because you never know from outside. Yeah. They become the sucking the energy from the environment and whoever comes into their energy field. So they are called energy vampires. So it has nothing to do with the behavior. Maybe that person has not said or done anything, but still that way, their cellular vibrancy, you can say much less, like a 50 or something. So like the positive people create positive field, they create negative field around them. So whoever comes to that field, because definitely the other person is in a higher vibration, so they take that and the energy equilibrium happens, and the person who is in the like a positive energy and all, they lose that energy. So that is how those people are called energy vampires.
Okay, so they are not they are like subtle, they are like some kind of feeling, right? It is going into the emotional domain, right? I'm just wondering. Yeah.
No, it is going to their energy field, not emotion. Okay, it is their energy field is like that. People who are the empath. Empath means they can see other people's energy. Okay, they can feel other people's energy. They can feel that this person is negative.
Okay.
Those who can see the aura of people, aura is your energy body, basically.
Right.
So they see that there are too many black patches into that aura of that person. So that person may be like an energy vampire.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Maybe I'm relating to something. Like somebody is talking about some spiritual things, but he at the same time kind of instilling some negative thoughts, fears, and all this, or
Mhm.
or like some kind of like obligations and all. I'm just wondering, is that, and obviously that is kind of draining your energy, which you are not liking, but still you are listening because she is like regarded as a somebody who's to be revered, but still you are not liking that discussion because it is kind of instilling some kind of negative thoughts in your mind. So so that's what I'm trying to kind of correlate. Is that what you are indicating? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is but saying so, that is one aspect of it. There can be some person who may be respected and all, but they can be energy vampires. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's possible. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter the behavior and all, but if you lose energy in interacting with that person, then definitely that it creates a bad vibe, within you. That person is certainly energy vampire. Maybe the degree is different. Somebody maybe instantly will lose energy. That's a heavily, like energy monster kind of thing. But otherwise, if somebody maybe like a little bit, but still you feel like depleted and things like that. So that is what it is. But saying so, but for us, there are ways that we can take a shield when interacting with outside people. Okay. There are techniques. Many of people, our group, they already know about it. So if you are uncertain about certain areas, the people you don't know how they are like. Yeah. Suppose you are going for a business meeting, you have to meet with that person. Yeah. You have no other choice. You cannot avoid. So what you can do, you can hold a energy shield on yourself. Okay. Or if somebody's action and words is bothering you, you can disconnect energetically from that person. That is also there are techniques. Okay.
Okay.
So if you go there, no matter other person energy vampire, you will not get affected. Yeah, you will be empowered and you can retain your own, the state, energy state or spiritual state or positivity.
Okay. Thank you, Rajat. Thanks a lot.
Yes. Okay. Any other question? All right. So if there is no other question, so we'll chant Shanti part and then conclude our session. Oh. Sarvesham Swastirabhavatu Sarvesham Shantirabhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhino Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhave Om Shanti Shanti Shanti